All right, my friends, please listen up. This is an emergency alert. We are about to tear each other apart limb from limb as this acrimony between East, West, right, left, black, white, Jew, non-Jew ensues. This is on a scale that I've never before seen in my life. In the span of 2 weeks, you have people storming the Capitol who just 2 years ago were criticizing the people that were storming the Capitol then. This is off the charts. We are just but one misstep away from complete civil disorder as a result of what we are seeing. And it is insane to see the same people who were on the other end of that gun just for the last couple of years already turn it on their opposition, and they're loving every minute of it. And an eye for an eye makes the world go blind, which is why I'm about ready to pack shit up and head out to the grid. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even being facetious anymore. I'm about ready to pack it in, because I seriously don't know how much longer we have. Now, what you're seeing behind me here, this man just made an announcement today that connected pretty much every dot that I needed connecting. Because this is what I said 2 weeks ago when Biden commissioned those strike carrier groups to head to the Eastern Mediterranean. I knew instantly what this was all about, and I made note of it on numerous occasions. You can go back and look at the videos. I said that this was all in an effort to get closer to Russia, bring them closer to the Black Sea. What's been going on in the Black Sea? What's been going on in Ukraine? Well, you're starting to hear a little bit more about it. It is starting to get a little bit more market share in the news cycle as of recent, as people are already tiring of the massive war that's about to ensue in Lebanon, and it is going to be a big war. They have 2 strike carrier groups that are going to be there, plus they're sending one of their most sophisticated warships, command and control ships. And this is incredibly important. And this is why this guy is behind me today. Because today, Putin comes out and says, in response to the United States putting its forces in this strategic provocation by putting its forces near the Black Sea, because remember, they're right down here. Now, near is relative. They're about 1,000 kilometers away. But just imagine if Russia, for perspective, had their, warships right around here. Okay, they're warships that obviously have nuclear weapons on them. So this is a problem. So what Russia said today is, okay, we see your warships and we raise you 24/7 MiG-31s armed with nuclear-tipped Kinzhal missiles. Now, they didn't say the nuclear-tipped part, but you can bet that that was the veiled threat. Because as they see the U.S. encroaching on its interests in Syria and Aleppo, that Israel has been bombing heavily and more with greater and greater frequency and more intensity in the past few days, as well as Lebanon to get them into this war, they know that their interests are at risk. So this is sending a message. This is about 2 things. This is about strategic defense. This is about putting them on notice that we can take out and we can sink an aircraft carrier, because we know you're probably going to have nuclear weapons on it. I'm certain that there's a nuclear contingency on all these ships, I would presume. Obviously, you have the deployment systems with the F-35s and the F-16s. So Russia is clearly sending a message here. This is a move, okay? And now why this is such an important move? Because today, the first use of ATACMS, the long-range weapon systems that are going to be targeting the Kerch Bridge. This is the big play. They're going to be trying to logistically destroy the connection with Crimea, because they're still itching for that. They're coming over the Kherson, the left bank of the Dnieper River. Apparently that was unsuccessful. You don't need to know all the details. You just need to know that this is still the big play. Okay, the Middle East is a bigger play from an economic point of view. And, this whole Israel stuff, I think they're just using the Israeli people as pawns in this whole grand scheme of things. Yes, the Middle East is going to have huge economic repercussions, especially when I tell you what's going on in Iran today. Because if Iran decides to embargo Israel, and if countries start embargoing each other, and then you have different Middle Eastern countries getting involved in this and forced to take a side, then you very well could see energy disruptions. That's going to lead to skyrocketing prices throughout the Middle East. Now, but this is very important to take note of. This should not be underestimated. This putting 24/7 MiG-31s, Kinzhal, on alert, okay? And you can tell by Putin's posture, this is always the posture that he assumes when he's kind of making a threat towards the United States. He kind of moves around a bit, kind of moves his head a little bit, and you could tell that he's serious, right? So you know that he's deadly serious about this, and this is not just a posturing thing. This is actually a strategic move to put these MiG-31s on 24/7 watch. Now, why is it so important? Well, it's important because I mentioned that they're carrying around the nuclear briefcase a lot more often. That was spotted today when he went to visit Xi Jinping in China, which he's saying is becoming more of a strategic alliance as well as North Korea. Now, this is what's happening in the Black Sea right now. They're going to do it. Something's going to go down. My main man, Gerald Celente, claims, and this guy is so accurate in his predictions, man. He's so accurate in his he predicted that gold was going to bottom at 1850, 1830. You know, he predicted when the market's going to, oh man, Gerald Celente, you know, hats off to you, sir. I salute you. Now, our main suspect here, RCQ-4 or RQD-2, whatever the hell it's called, Global Hawk reconnaissance plane, it is surveying this area because shit's going to go down. Anyway, Celente claims that they're going to do some sort of big event that's going to bring attention back to Ukraine because now Biden's vying for $100 billion, 60 billion is going to Ukraine, and 40 billion is going to Israel. 40 billion. 40 billion. Can you imagine that? $40 billion. Turkey's entire defense budget, the biggest military in Europe, their budget is going to be $40.5 billion this year for the entire year. This is insane levels of stuff. You know a civilization is on the brink of collapse when they've accumulated $600 billion in debt in the past month and they are still spending like there's no tomorrow. My friends,